Welcome back to Beauty Therapy with Gen X. My name is Jennifer Masad. I am your hostess and I am your beauty therapist. With me today, I have a very special guest, esthetician Stephanie Snyder. And Stephanie is here because she has helped me find, Judgments by Jennifer, a new favorite product. I'm an old school girl and love me some coconut oil to take my makeup off with. But we're going to talk about Not Your Mother's Cold Cream by a brand named Alpen Beauty, which is fabulous. Stephanie, thanks for being here.
Oh, absolutely. Of course. Happy to. I'm excited.
Me too. It'll be so much fun. So, short story long, Stephanie and I met in the beauty industry, and I have learned, she's taught me a lot because she is an esthetician, and we're going to talk about what an esthetician does, because that's now a buzzword in today's world, and I'd like people to know what you actually get certified to do instead of what maybe like the talk might say. So not everyone needs to use coconut oil, as I have learned as I take care of my own clients, right? Good skin starts from within, and it's still my favorite, but I also have some clients that have like fungal acne issues, and skin has become so complex anyway because of all of the availability of products that are on the market right now. Like y'all know, I know you can burn your face off at Sephora in 10 ingredients. We don't want to do that. So I want Stephanie to explain why this cold cream is so cool. I'm going to take my makeup off. And, but before we get started on all that, I would love for you to tell us, what is an esthetician, Stephanie?
So an esthetician is someone who has been trained within our scope of practice is the epidermis.
Okay.
So your dermatologist is going to be scoped to your dermis, which is below the epidermis. So anything like grade 3 cystic acne, those types of things, straight to the dermatologist you go.
Okay.
Because that penetrates so much deeper. But skincare is built for the epidermis, which means that's my playground. As an esthetician, there's a million and one different things you can do. It really is a blanket license. I highly recommend you go. Get a license, become one. It is just such a marketable asset to have. But within that industry, you know, we've got the ones you think of the most, the girlies who give you your beautiful facials. You've got the girls who, and men, all of them, humans will say, the humans who, you know, do your services, who are hands-on applicants. And then you have people like me who chose to go to more educational aspects.
Yes.
Now, technically, I don't need a license to do what I do, but I very much value that I have it. I think it does make me more of an asset. So there's just so many different things that you can do with the license, but our scope of practice is the epidermis.
Okay.
That is where we are limited to.
How many layers deep is that, Stephanie?
5.
Okay.
Now the 5th one is like really, really down there. So just, you know, we don't really see her too often.
Okay.
And the top one is the most delicate. And generally what we tend to work on healing the most. And we'll talk about what different ingredients in the cold cream can help do to fix that issue.
So thank you for that explanation, because it, and she and I tag team when we freelance at certain beauty retailers together. And it's really neat because you're one of the first people I've been able to have a real conversation with. Like I talk about, I love functional medicine, finding the true cause. And also I have a real problem with what we're doing to young people's skin these days. I mean, the stuff that's available now, I'm 44. I couldn't purchase any of this stuff. I had to have a prescription. And then at the same time, I was the 12-year-old that started to have acne because I grew up in a pretty traumatic environment, wasn't taught how to take care of my face, and food and that conversation. And then I get this prescription cream retinol, and what 12-year-old do you know follows any type of protocol consistently? And I'll be honest, I think I've aged pretty well, but I have permanent contact dermatitis, like it caused me to become allergic to toothpaste. And I have permanent marionette lines and premature aging from the constant, I can get irritated like that. Can you speak to that?
Yeah. So, I mean, to your point, children do not need to use retinol. I mean, I'm not your mother. I'll never tell you shouldn't do something because that ain't my business. However, my personal opinion as an esthetician is that I'm not giving a 13-year-old retinol. It's just not going to happen. I do not care what you saw on social media and what influencer who may or may not have been paid told you to get.
Right.
Will not be doing any of that. But the reason why they would have given you that product and that ingredient at such a young age is because you were breaking out. Your barrier was damaged. Now in America, we follow a mentality of drying things out. We love drying lotions. We love salicylics and strip until we can't move our faces at all. I personally, as an esthetician, do not subscribe to that mentality. I think that if your barrier is damaged, we need to hydrate it, because hydrated skin is healthy skin.
Yes.
So what they would have been thinking when they gave you that at 12 years old is you needed to regenerate more cells. You needed to heal your barrier and get it stronger. So they gave you something that's built to speed up the cell cycle. That's why they sometimes prescribe retinols to younger clients. And I'll speak to that, like your cellular regeneration. So until you're 24 years old, your cell cycle is full speed. So the way you make new cells is as fast as it can go. You're in a car with no check
no
engine
help
light.
needed.
No, you're in a car
Your body
with
knows what to do.
No check engine light, full tank of gas, clean road ahead of you. You are golden.
Okay.
And then you turn 24 and you run out of gas and you get a flat tire. And like maybe like an axe murderer chases you down the street. Bad things happen, and then you get wrinkles, right? So this is the best way to describe this, honestly. But then you get wrinkles because your cell cycle has slowed down. You're not producing new cells as much.
Okay.
So your barrier gets damaged and loses its plumpness, right? So if you put something on your skin before 24 years old, when you're still going full speed, what you're really doing is kicking healthy cells off of your skin. You're thinning your skin out. And that's why we see a lot of clients who are using retinols and even things like Accutane. Those are going to be, oh my gosh, those are going to be things that cause the skin to thin, which is why you dry out so quickly, because you can't hold in water, right? And that's why we tend to be very, very careful about those ingredients until a certain point. Now, once you get to that point, by all means, honey, anti-age to your heart's content. I love a good retinol.
Right.
Now, personally, my skin's too sensitive for it. And we'll
how
talk
old
about,
are you, Stephanie?
I'm 24. And going on 50.
I know, thank God. I know. I love
Going
it.
on 50 for sure. So we'll talk about alternative ingredients in the cold cream that are going to be very safe to use on younger clients. Because there are alternatives to do for sure.
And like you said, like, so what I have learned too as a makeup artist, right? This is what I tell my clients, feel free to correct me. Skin is the largest organ in the body. It's often the last place to receive nutrients and the first place to show inflammation. And guess what my job is? To make you look #flawless, right? And less inflamed. And I will say this, like, we're going to talk about some of their other products on a couple of videos down the road, but they have an amazing toner that has a beautiful ingredient called borage oil. And I love it. And I can't use salicylic, and I can actually use it. But I literally have to keep that toner in my kit, because in today's world, I don't know what kind of skin I'm going to have on the wedding day or a special event. Or I may have told the client, do not use your retinol the night before. And then they go to Sephora or another retailer, wherever, and they buy a product that they may not even realize has an irritant in it. And now their makeup's peeling off because their skin's peeling off. So #management of expectations. But so I say all that to say, skin is becoming more complex with more availability over the counter and less critical thinking when it comes to just let's buy it all because social media is messy.
Yeah, and cute packaging. You know what I mean? Packaging's a big deal. We love, you eat with your eyes first.
Yes, you do.
And I understand that, but I think it's really important that we really start subscribing to a culture of education.
Yes.
And understanding what we're doing to our face. Because if you can't tell me what the ingredient does, I don't want it. And that's something that I very much value in the company that I work for, Alpen Beauty. I fell in love with the integrity of this company, the integrity of their CEO and founder, Kendra Cole Butler. She is a godsend in skincare, truly. I wish I could pick her brain for the rest of my life. But if you go to Alpen Beauty's website, so as we get into the cold cream in just a hot second, and you're curious about what some of these ingredients are, and you're like, I don't remember quite what they said, all you've got to do is click view full ingredients on alpenbeauty.com, and then the whole panel will pop up of the ingredient list. Click whatever ingredient you want to know about, and there's definitions.
Oh, I love that, Stephanie. It's so important. And I'll put links below also, because that's another thing in my world, right? When I'm helping a client with beauty concierge lessons or whatever, I need to find out, they make it, if the website makes it hard for me to find the ingredients, that also speaks to the integrity. And then I would love for you, okay, so what I'm going to do now, guys, is you've seen my video on how to take off your makeup using coconut oil. So the same technique I'm going to repeat with the cold cream while Stephanie tells us a little more about what the product is, why we both like it. And then I want you to talk about what Kendra understands, because we don't talk about positions in the beauty industry. What is a master formulator, and why does it matter that she decided to go clean-ish?
Well,
So I'm gonna go do this.
clean is
And
good.
let me side note that real fast. I do have sensitive eyes. Everyone has different sensitivities. I was an idiot and I put Retin-A too close to my eye area.
It happens.
So I can't use the cleanser near my eyes. I'm still gonna use my coconut oil. If you're a professional makeup artist like me and you are using more waterproof style products, long wear over periods of time, I still recommend the avocado, olive, or the coconut oil in the eye area, and then this guy everywhere else. So
Yes.
I'm gonna shut up.
I'll talk a little bit first while she gets started doing this on what Beauty is, because we are a tiny, tiny little brand. I say that, but we are fortunately we're growing.
It's really cool stuff.
It is crazy. But so Beauty is founded by a woman named Kendra Cole Butler, as I mentioned. She is truly an angel. She has 20 years of experience in this industry. She worked for some very big name companies before, really getting those brands started and being a right hand for them. I love to call her a master formulator. I think what that means for my definition of that is somebody that truly understands how ingredients interact with each other in a clinical formula, what they're going to do to your skin, and then how we put them into a product for the masses, right?
Right.
Because if it only works on one person, that's not really doing us any favors. So what Kendra did is her and her husband moved to Jackson Hole, Wyoming with their kids back in, I believe, 2015. It was a hot minute ago, and the plan was to be there for a season. But what they figured out is they absolutely adored it. Now, Kendra, of course, comes from beauty. She ended up opening. Oh gosh, it's so pretty.
I know, I love it.
I just love the texture.
Oh, and yes,
Look
we're
at
gonna
how
talk
gorgeous.
about the jojoba beads.
Yes, we will talk about that. So she ended up realizing that the skin there in that area was so just damaged. It's 6,200 feet above altitude.
Oh, wow.
So yeah, so
Yeah,
it is up
that's
there.
tricky.
So everybody up there is aging 10 years faster than they should.
Oh my gosh,
Everybody's
yes.
dry. Everybody has sunspots. Everybody's got wrinkles. So she really wanted to think about how to save their skin, because the one thing that I will always tell my clients as an esthetician is our goal is never going to be perfect skin. It's healthy skin.
Right.
That's the goal.
There is
because
no
breakouts,
perfect.
blemishes, wrinkles, and dark spots
Life
are completely
happens.
natural. Life happens. You can't control everything.
This is a living petri dish.
Absolutely. You know what I mean? And the world isn't set up for us to have perfect, flawless skin. That's not achievable. So we're never going to facilitate that. Be kind to yourselves. But what Kendra realized when she lived in this super gorgeous place is that there are a slew of wild plants growing up there. It is 97% vegetation there.
Oh, wow.
And what she figured out how to do is take a clean clinical, so think vitamin C, salicylics, collagen, and combine them with completely native wild plants. So she hikes up mountains in Jackson Hole, Wyoming, and uses the entire native plant. And that's how she creates her skincare. She does it hyper clean and hyper sustainable.
I'm going to pause you for a quick second. I'm sorry. So I just added water.
I love
Because I've gotten everything loose.
emulsify.
Emulsified. But,
Yeah.
I apologize for interrupting you.
Oh, no,
Can
you're
you
fine.
side note and tell us about a little bit about what the cleanser is
Yes,
doing?
that's where we're going right now. So Juneberry Collagen Cold Cream Cleanser, or Hydrating Cream Cleanser is the name for it. What it is a oil emulsion in water. So it's more oil than water. Cold creams are the oldest known cleanser to date. Moms, you'll remember Noxzema, Seabreeze, Pond's Pads. Will not be doing that anymore. Menthol Central in that town.
And it burns so bad.
Oh my goodness. So cold creams get their name for giving an icy feeling to the skin. Now the original formula was made by a Greek philosopher 150 AD, way back in the day.
God, I love
It was
it.
actually originally done with beeswax, olive oil, almond oil, and rose water, if I remember correctly. So Jen's on the right game already. So what Kendra did is she used eucalyptus oil. It'll give you the same icy feeling, but with none of the burn.
Yeah, because I usually can't handle eucalyptus on my face.
It's a very gentle.
It is.
And because we're using the entire native plant, we find that sometimes clients are a little more receptible to those ingredients because they're completely native, natural, right? You're not using a like chemical synthetic. So it's eucalyptus oil, and then you've got a low dose salicylic and a kaolin clay in there to pull any impurities out of your skin. That's what causes it to get into those pores and get that makeup, that oil, that sweat, sunscreen out of there. But then you get into the goodies, because we never take from our skin without giving. You've got pure jojoba and collagen, plant-based, to push moisture back in. So the little beads that she talked about a second ago are jojoba beads. They're tiny, tiny little red pieces in there that you can see. And then plant-based vegan collagen are going to be things that are small enough to absorb into the skin.
It's fabulous.
So because this is such a hydrating formula, you get to also use this, and this is our special edition, is it can be doubled as a hydrating mask.
I was going to ask.
We love her.
This sounds like it could sit on my skin for a second.
It can. So you can leave it on the skin. And the reason why we love to do that, especially if you're traveling into like a really high traffic city, Juneberries are rich in antioxidants. So it's going to help replenish and save that elastin and that collagen production in your own skin from the outside environments that are icky.
And unlike coconut oil isn't necessarily travel friendly if we're honest, right? And this one is very travel friendly.
Yes. Fortunately, the jar, I took it on a plane. It was fine. It travels very well. And because it's not a liquid, you don't have to worry about it like spilling everywhere. But there are some things that Beauty tends to put in every single formula. So every formula that we make is going to be anti-inflammatory and antibacterial. So if you struggle with breakouts, redness, irritation in your skin, it's going to help get rid of those issues.
Okay.
Through consistent use, right? Now, I use Juneberry AM and PM. Sometimes people like to follow it with a second cleanser or do a different makeup remover beforehand. Now, the makeup that I have on today, complexion-wise, skin tint, super lightweight, that'll take it off in a heartbeat. But as Jen said earlier, if you're a makeup artist or just someone who loves a good glam, you might want to go for like a straight up oil.
Now that's true. I will caveat this. I completely disagree, and I hate and disavow double cleansing. However, caveat to that would be exactly what Stephanie just said. If you're one of my brides or you're out late, it's New Year's Eve, right? And I'm pretty known for making the makeup last because I had someone sleep in it and they came to me the next day and like, Jennifer, look, it didn't move. And I'm like,
kudos to you, the makeup artist.
Right. Well, but I was like, but the double cleanse in this case would be coconut oil first, because I will say the waterproof technology is getting better, and then the Juneberry on top.
Absolutely, and that's not something that you don't have to double cleanse every single.
After, sorry.
Yeah, you don't have to double cleanse every single day.
Right.
It's just we want to make sure we get all of that makeup out of the skin. I have a client who uses just Juneberry twice when she wears more heavy makeup. So you have that option because it's not going to take from your skin too much.
And I feel again. It doesn't strip your skin, unlike most detergent-based cleansers, which is why I don't like cleansers. This is not a cleanser. It's a cold cream. And I love that. I didn't realize about the kaolin and then the eucalyptus. Yeah. Finally, again, we're going to bring Stephanie back because I want to talk about the vitamin C conversation. Anyway, most products are highly irritant, ingredient rich that you may not even realize. But Stephanie, this is fabulous. I would follow this again with my 3-step skincare routine, follow up with an alcohol-free witch hazel toner, or we're going to talk about a new toner that I like. We're going to bring Stephanie back to talk about exfoliating toners. Huge conversation there too. And Beauty is a fan favorite of Judgments by Jennifer. I keep the lip balm. There are a lot of really neat products on the website.
We'll go through it again. We'll come back. Yeah. We'll be back. We'll do a whole Alpen regime at some point, I'm sure. But yeah, it is definitely one of those products that you might be a little finicky about because it's a cream and some people think it's a moisturizer, and I see people try and rub it into their skin and not wash it off, which makes me laugh. But it's a cleanser. It's one of those things that the first time I used it, I was in my shower and I'm cleansing my face, and I literally stopped and I was like, okay, this is it. I'm on my 5th jar. So, and I might be a little biased, but definitely give it a go. It's for sure worth it. No,
I'm so excited. Again, it's so nice to be able to have alternatives because the complexity of skin is not changing. It's actually getting more insane. Again, we're going to bring her back, talk about ingredient regulations. I can't wait to talk to you about that, the less than 1% profile. Stephanie, thank you so much for being here. Thank you for introducing me to this fabulous product so that I can share it with my clients. It's huge, guys. You can find, where can they find Alpen? Online, at Sephora, and at Credo Beauty, correct?
Yes, Alpen Beauty, and also on Goop Beauty as well. So Alpen Beauty can be found on multiple online resources, but in store, you're going to find us in every single Sephora on the next big thing while in skincare. Okay, cool. And then our full lineup is going to be available at Credo.
Oh yeah, Credo Beauty. We'll talk about that another day. Stephanie, I always like to ask my guests to share any wisdom that they have, and I know you are full of it. So what's something that you can share with us?
I mean, I have 1,000,001 things. Drink a lot of water for sure. That's a thing that It's so hard. But
what's one thing you can tell people when they walk into, as an esthetician, what's one thing you wish more people knew when they walk into a beauty retailer?
To be gentle and to be kind to yourself. I think it's really important that we understand that we are who we are on the inside, and makeup is fun and beautiful, and it's a tool to express yourself, but you are absolutely stunning underneath that. And I think it's really important that you never lose sight of that part of you, the completely naked part of you. I would definitely always recommend be gentle and be kind to yourself always.
Fabulous.
Yeah.
Be sure and like, share, and subscribe this video, guys. It helps grow the channel. If you have any questions for Stephanie, anything about Alpen Beauty as well, you can leave it in the comment section below. She's going to be back because now we have an amazing, beautiful esthetician on the team who's brilliant and works for a company that I kind of think has some pretty cool products. So we're going to bring Stephanie back. As always, thank you for tuning in. Remember, be you, be true, and love what you do. You are much needed in today's world. And when you know who you are not subject to what people tell you they think you are. Stephanie, thank you again.
Thank you.
Bye, guys. I'll see you next time.